Today, ready? We're getting there. We're getting there. Day 16. Feel like we're doing good. So we've got 15, 16, 17. We are over the halfway mark now with this day. We're through the end of it. You guys doing good? Who else is with me? So we're gonna still be using the Living the Dream collection, and we're gonna be doing a sketch. Today's sketch. So the sketch that I've chosen is off of Pinterest. The sketch 125 in Sketch Savvy blog post, blog, blog spot. Wow, that was hard. This is what we're going to be using as our sketch. We've got a white piece of paper. If you'll notice, they have this cute little um, notebook pad. So I have from the Vicky Bouton collection this notebook die. We're going to first die cut something from Living the Dream. I've also pulled out my Lawn Fawn solids collection to add on, so in case I need a solids. But that's the plan. That's the sketch we're going to be using, and I will try to put this sketch up in the corner so you guys can see it as we're going through. But hang with me, and we will make a page. Just get this die out. Now, I would have sworn that I had used this before, but apparently I hadn't. So I am going to set that up and get my Big Shot over and run it through the Big Shot. Um, I have the magic mats from Scraptember.com. They have really made a difference on being able to cut with my Big Shot. I had a Cuttlebug for a long time. I loved my Cuttlebug, but it died. I am going to cut out the other half of this photo paper just so I have a little bit bigger part of the notebook paper. This one that's from the Vicky Bouton is a little bit small. There is a Tim Holtz Ranger notebook paper die that I think I have somewhere that's going to give you a bigger, like a 6-inch cut. So if you have that one, I might choose to use that one, or if you have a punch that does it. Any way you could do it would be good. Okay, so now I'm going to try to build this sketch. So the first thing I need is two 12-inch long pieces of paper. I pulled that one out and it's not 12 inches, so I'm going to pull the next one out. And it is 12 inches, so that works. I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn as well. So I'm trying to save. I don't have as much paper from the collection for Living the Dream. So I'm trying to save some of that. So I'm going to, at first I thought I would cut that border strip off, and I thought, why am I doing that? I'll just use that to attach it. There you go. Look at that. Easy. So I'm going to make that tag. I'm going to put those down. And so here, I want you to realize that I have spent a lot of time. I am setting all of this up. What I have not done at any point in any of this is taped any of this down. And there's going to become a period in about, I don't know, 2 minutes of this voiceover where we all realize I forgot that I hadn't actually glued any of this down, and I flip the paper and everything falls off. And I just want you guys to know, no, I didn't realize I hadn't done that. So anyway, so there is this, if you'll notice, there is a little black border around the photo on the sketch. I'm going to add that as well. I think it does add quite a bit to the actual layout. Black borders, I know we've talked about this a couple times. Black borders really do make a difference, particularly if you have really bright colors. But so far, I'm really liking how this is turning out. The last thing I have to do is decide how I'm going to do the little section at the bottom. And I don't necessarily like the two fishtails, but what I do like is having, instead of two fishtails, I want to have just one fishtail and have that tag kind of go to the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the 3 pieces of paper that I've used repeated down at the bottom and put the title down there. So, yep, love how that turned out. I'm going to tape those down. Now look, I'm taping these down because they need to be taped down. I'm taping them down on the edge so they can make sense. I like how they're looking. It's perfect. It's the same 3 patterns. And then I flip it over and realize, oh yeah, I hadn't actually glued any of that other stuff down. Now I do look at that and I just decide it's too big. So I cut about 1/2 inch off. That worked out really well. Then I'm attaching this to the page, have my slightly bigger mat that it has, have the tag, the cute little fishtail banner, and then I've got my notebook paper cut in green. It's a lot of fun. This page combines a lot of fun colors. It is everything you kind of want out of a Chamel collection. Even though I'm adding some other things in, it does kind of make it super fun. Now, I did want to kind of bring that over a little bit, just a smidge, just a smidge. Now, I did have these little acetate or plastic pieces from Ali Edwards, and they're just like blue stars and flowers. I I don't know why I got them, but they really go well with this collection. So I am putting them in the container with this collection and I'm going to try to use them. They worked perfectly for this to have the three kind of little pieces there. And then I'm going to look for a title. And originally I wanted Remember, and it says Beautiful Adventures. It's Beautiful Adventures, and I wanted the word Remember, but I had already attached that, and the Remember was going to go over too far, and I tried to pull that up, and it pulls the paper up. And I have a moment where I freak out a little bit, but I can't, I just decide, I finally just take the Remember off and be like, nope, that's not going to do it. I'm going to have to re-glue down this adhesive. I glue the paper down that it's attached to, and then I decided I'm going to do EPCOT, because that's where we are. EPCOT Beautiful Adventures. And that, I think, ended up being a great title. So I have my title down there. I'm going to use a star and a rainbow on each of the embellishment clusters. And that is my basic page. This is one of those things where I followed a sketch and it really turned out exactly the way I wanted to. So I'm showing you how I think I matched the sketch and it was great. I do add a little bit of journaling, and instead of adding the journaling right above the title, I add it right under that photo, and that works out better for my page and the way it's laid out, but you could obviously add your journaling where the original sketch had. Here's a close-up of the finished product. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another Scraptember.